Why are you not afraid of death? Death comes to us all, it's a natural part of life. I accept that. Because I have no reason to. There is no one reason to be afraid of death. I am afraid of how I will die and if I will suffer. Trillions of lifeforms had already died before me and none of them are complaining. Why should I fear that which can only exist when I do not? Quote, I used to because I thought everything would go to black. But no. It is ceasing to exist. Which is impossible to comprehend. But nothing to fear. Seeing black would be some form of existence. We didn't exist before we were born. And it won't be any different after we die. I only fear the death of my loved ones. When I'm dead I do not exist anymore and so I cannot feel anything. Negative or positive. I'm just afraid of dying. Not of being dead. Because Blue Oyster Cult told me not to fear the Reaper. When you are dead you won't know that you are dead. I do not fear death. I had been dead for billions and billions of years before I was born. And had not suffered the slightest inconvenience from it. Mark Twain. Death does not concern us. Because as long as we exist, death is not here. And once it does come, we no longer exist. Epicurus. Finally we only have one life. This is not a dress rehearsal. So make the most of every day. Have you tried living? Being alive seems far scarier and way more stressful than being dead. I'm kind of excited for the big nap. There's nothing scary about death. It's dying that's scary. Because I'm tired. So very tired. Memento mori. Rather than letting it scare you, let it motivate you to live every moment of every day. Time is a one-way street. Listen to people's deathbed regrets. And apply them to life now. That is why I cuddle my 5-year-old to sleep every night. I know there will come a last time one way or another. That is why I exercise. So that I can most fully enjoy the time I have available to me. It's why I don't try to get promoted further or become a celebrity in my field, etc. I work to live, rather than living to work. I find fulfillment in my relationships with my wife, my daughter, my friends, and my students much more than finding fulfillment in my field of study. Finally, Epicurus had this banger to contribute. Why should I fear death? If I am, death is not. If death is, I am not. Why should I fear that which cannot exist when I do? Quote, a bomb diffuser said, I'm either right, or suddenly it's not my problem anymore. To me, it would be like being afraid of going to sleep. Dying will obviously change the way I experience my life. But it will happen whether I want it or not. Whether I am afraid of it or not. In the meantime, I am alive. And that's not going to last forever. So I might as well focus on what's going on here and now. Because this is where my actions can change things. 'Cause baby I have felt what it's like to be out of this self and let me tell you it's amazing. The best way in my opinion to think about death is, did it bother you not existing before you were born? The afterlife is likely much the same. Because it does not feel real. I cannot get my mind around it. Death is coming. Deleted. I believe in an afterlife. Because I strongly believe that something waits me after death. Less stress, no bills, definitely a reduction of responsibilities. But what can we do? It will happen anyway, just take care of yourself to not die early laughing face. Because fear does not change the inevitable outcome. What death? I'm not going to die. So yeah, I use delusion. I've suffered enough while living to consider death will be more peaceful. Because it can't be any worse than it is now. Depends on your belief. After death, you either A. goes to heaven, hell for whatever religion you believes in or B. nothing happens because you are no more. What is worse is to end up in a state where you want to die, but cannot. For example, being awake, but unable to move or communicate, seeing your family take care of you, and stressed over their life, while you want to ask them help end your life. You can't. And every time you look at them, they misunderstand it as you wanting to live. So they go on, suffering and trying to help you maintain your life. I spent a good year confronting my fear of death and sitting with it. Now I'm okay. Because I am waiting for it. Maybe because I see it as a natural part of life. Something we all face eventually. Focusing on living fully now feels more meaningful than worrying about the inevitable. I recommend you to read about memento mori. It means, remember that you must die. The Stoics use it to encourages you to keep the brevity of life at the forefront of your mind. They believed that by regularly contemplating death, we can strip away the trivial concerns that often consume our daily lives and focus instead on what truly matters. Living according to virtue, striving for wisdom, and nurturing our character. It's literally the one and only thing I ever have to do. I got to experience life, which is such an amazing thing. But for that, I owe the universe one death. Fair enough. It's really only the asterisk how that concerns me. Because I have made peace with God through Jesus' death and resurrection. My next life is even better than this one. I am a person who suffers from suicidal thoughts all the time. I do not have time to be afraid of him. I am afraid of failing to die. Because I won't know about it when I'm gone. The part that scares me is if my kids need me and I'm not there. I'm one of nearly 8 billion people. And one of countless lifeforms in general. I'm also a speck on one of uncountable bodies of mass floating around an unreachable, unseeable end. My death will ultimately not change a thing. No one's will. Therefore, whatever. All this said, that doesn't mean I don't ascribe personal meaning to my own life. I still enjoy what I have. I'm just saying that to specifically answer why I'm not afraid of dying if it happens. I am not scared of death, I am scared of being buried. And I am not frightened of dying. Any time will do. I don't mind. Why should I be frightened of dying? There's no reason for it. You've gotta go sometime. The Great Gig in the Sky. Pink Floyd. If I die then at least I don't have to show up for work anymore. Thumbs up, thumbs up. My mom passed away 4 years ago, so when I die I'll be reunited with her. It saddens me that 90% on here believe there's nothing after. I personally believe it's on to the next stage. Our society is so atheist, agnostic at best. I'm sure the persecution awaits me now with this comment. I'm a Christian, so I fully believe I'll be in heaven. However, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared at all of death. It's still scary to me because it's ultimately unknown. But I have faith that I know what awaits. Maybe because it's inevitable. And stressing over it doesn't change that. Plus, focusing on living fully right now seems like a better use of time and energy. I do not fear death. I had been dead for billions and billions of years before I was born. And had not suffered the slightest inconvenience from it. Mark Twain. Depressive AF. But not enough to commit the big S. Whenever I die all of this pain and fear will be gone just like me. I am more afraid to be alive long enough to see people I love suffer than me dying. I already died almost. It was lovely. My body. And yours will do that too. Let hormones go that made me feel like I was in a warm bath while also being cuddled by a 1,000 arms. I felt the most safe and chill ever. When I will finally go again it will be the same. No point of being afraid of something that will definitely happen. Fear is only useful to help us avoid preventable events. While dying might not be particularly comfortable, we don't spend every moment of our day fearing pain. So why should we spend time fearing death? As a Christian, it is even less to be feared because God promises to walk through it with us. Psalm chapter 23 verse 4.